Okay, so maybe then let's introduce ourselves, quite official way. Good morning, everyone. Labasritas. I am Dr. Titi Varghese, official educational consultant for Indian students to study in Lithuanian public and private universities. Today, I am very happy to meet my dear colleagues from KLAIPEDA University, which is a top-ranked public university in Lithuania, and which is in basically KLAIPEDA. There are many Indian students, especially from South India, is studying from my side at KLAIPEDA University for bachelor's and master's programs. So thank you very much for this time. And since the application is going on, we would like to have more students who would like to study at KLAIPEDA University from 2026 September intake, which means your class will be starting from September 1, 2026. Dear students and parents, please note that the deadline is approaching and you need to have a minimum, at least, in my case, I would suggest 62 to 65 percentage in your 12th, and if you want to study masters, then we are expecting at least 65 percentage with a very good motivation, real genuine student who would like to study and grow into a perfect career through the help of KLAIPEDA University and me. So
And this is the best part about EduConnects is maybe there's a student from a non-technical program, let's say management, who wants to study something related to IT. So they can take courses and there is no specific requirements that, no, you have to be from an engineering background to be admitted to this program. So
okay,
it's open to all. And regarding the accommodation, so basically,
maybe a little bit more detail about the scholarship amount, because most of the time the students and parents would like to know about the scholarship amount also. For example, let's say in terms of Erasmus plus studies and for internship and then EU connections.
Okay, so for Erasmus plus internship, students who are going for internship during their studies, it really depends on the country that they're going for, whether it be a short-term mobility as well as for internship, for instance. And for countries, let's say the Scandinavian countries, the budget is a bit higher. And if they're going more towards Central Europe, let's say Poland, the budget is a little bit lower. And the prices, they change every year due to inflation. So I don't have the exact correct number now because of the recent adjustments. However, I can tell that the budget for EU Connexus mobilities, it depends on how long you're going. Usually the mobility, short-term mobility is approximately 5 days with 2 days of travel. So until last year, students were getting about 500 something euros for this, and Erasmus grants are not given entirely. It's been given in 2 installments. First, students get 80% of the amount before the mobility, and then they get the remaining 20% amount after completing the mobility.
Okay. Okay. Now maybe let's speak about the accommodation and the dormitory availability for international students, and is it like a mixed dormitory with girls and boys together, or is it separate, and rent per month, and also the deposit amount if we have something.
Mm-hmm. So for now, all the new arrival students, they are mostly going to the dormitory located in Stativeninku, and the deposit in that dormitory is around 150 euros. When it comes to the facilities in terms of whether it's mixed or it's separated, of course, girls will be living with girls, and but there are still boys living in probably the same aisle of the dormitory, but the blocks of the dormitory are gendered based. So if girls are in one block, then it will only be girls, and if it's boys, it will only be boys. There are showers on both ends of the corridors of each floor that is shared by each side, and kitchens as well located on either of the sides.
And
And
I have to add that if the parents are worried about the safety, so it is a safe dormitory, and we monitor also as well everything. And there was no accidents or harassments or anything like that. So it is pretty safe, even if it is international. It is a safe environment for everyone and for any gender, for any religion. It's international, and students that are coming, they understand that they need to be open-minded.
Okay, and what is the monthly rent? Is this new dormitory, Indre? No?
We currently we do have two dormitories. We also rent rooms from the other school, and the university is building the third dormitory, which will be open probably next year, hopefully. Uh, um, the price starts from around 70 euros to 180 euros, and I cannot confirm to which dormitory students will get the spot because there is always a queue to the new dormitory. But the dormitory administration will be happy to guide you to the students. I mean, he's trying the best to fill everyone that wish to be.
Because last time I remember that it was a little bit challenging for the students to get into the new dormitory, and
It's still the same.
uh-huh.
Because
So
there is always a queue. Everybody wants to be because it's in that dormitory. It's closer to the university, but Klaipėda is a small city. You can get a bus, and even from the old dormitory, it will take like 20 minutes to get to the university by bus. While you are sitting in a bus, it's very good to public transportation system. It's calm. It's nothing like you can see in Asian countries that it's crowded or something. It is not. It's very convenient, and it is safe. And while you are coming to the university, you can read your information about your studies or study or do the assignment or book.
And the transportation costs, they are really, really cheap because students, they get everywhere 50% discount. Either it's train, either it's a local bus. Yeah.
And for the monthly, the city public transport for students is like 6 euros.
less than that.
less than that.
Yeah. And we have a third dormitory, which is currently under construction. So I think it should be done very soon because they're preparing it quite fast. So once that is constructed, probably students will have more opportunities to go to the new dormitory, which is closer to the campus. So let's hope that it's done as soon as possible.
In 2027, we are supposed to open this new dormitory.
Okay, great to hear. Thank you.
Okay, so if I can come back to Erasmus scholarship amounts, so it varies starting from 606 euros up to 674 euros per month, depending on the country to which the student is going to. 80% of full amount is paid before the mobility, and 20% of amount is paid already after the mobility, once the student is arriving back and providing the necessary documentation. Additionally, talking about BIPs, blended intensive programs, which we also have, the payment is done per day, up to 14 days for the BIP. It is paid 79 euros per 1 day, and if it is from 15 up to 30 days, in this case, 56 euros per day.
Okay. That's nice. I remember that I was going to Finland in 2014 for the masters for one semester, and again at that time also, depending on the country that you are going, the amount is different. Okay, thank you, Christina. And Fatima, maybe you would like to add something more about the facilities at the dormitory for international students, especially in relation with, there are various students who would like to follow different religion, and do they have any specific prayer room or things like that at the university? dormitory, and the main important points that you would like to add to the Indian students, how they need to be in the dormitory, especially in relation with cooking and cleaning. Do they have someone else to cook for them and clean for them? Things like that. Because parents would like to know all these details.
So the dormitory gives all the facilities that I mentioned, the kitchen, the toilets, and other than that, there are students coming from different religious backgrounds, especially in India where it's so multicultural. Lithuania is regarded as a Catholic country. So here we have a lot of churches. And so students who are from the Christian faith, they can go to these churches. And for Hindu students, unfortunately, we don't have a temple here, but we have some Hindu students who create their own little space in their room to do their puja and everything. So they can always create their corner. Sorry?
Yeah, I think we have ISKCON, the International Society, Krishna Society, Hare Krishna. We have Hare Krishna in there.
Yes, I'm not sure if it's connected in KLAIPEDA, but I know there are different societies in Vilnius, because in Vilnius there are a lot of Indians. We have the Indian embassy as well there, and they have different festivals also happening there. So students can, of course, go and participate. There are students who go to Vilnius sometimes to participate for Diwali festival. Speaking of Diwali festivals, we have some sort of organization in KLAIPEDA who are sometimes conducting these activities here. So some of our students also participate there, and they get the chance to celebrate their culture in this way. And a lot of Lithuanians also would sometimes like to join these events to just get a little bit of, they're really interested in these kind of festivals. So when it comes to a designated prayer room, so students can sort of navigate through this way. And for Muslim students, they can pray anywhere, and there is or if they want, there is a prayer facility somewhere located in the city of KLAIPEDA that they can go and they can pray there as well and have their own community. Students also need to keep in mind that, especially with their religious beliefs that they're bringing in, to still be respectful of the regulations of the dormitory and of the regulations set by the university. So that is the most important thing. Sometimes you have to make certain adjustments so that others are not disturbed in some or the other way. So if there is another way to practice your religion or practice your culture, your customs and traditions, so there needs to be a balance between these two.